What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today we're going to be doing a viewer discussion topic video for The Walking Dead season kind of 1 to 7. This is going to be a video talking a little bit about, and again, viewer suggested, basically he wanted me to talk a little bit about what is my favorite part of The Walking Dead. So basically what he meant was, what's my favorite story arc? So we're going to separate this up here. What's my favorite part? Either the season 1 stuff at the Atlanta with, all those walkers and, of course the camp, the CDC and all that kind of stuff, the early stuff. Or the second storyline of The Walking Dead, the whole farm thing with Shane. We see Hershel and everybody. We see the death of Shane. We see the death of Dale, and most of season 2, or either season 3 with the governor and all that kind of stuff, and that type of deal. With kind of the ending, kind of that storyline at about season 4, mid-season finale-ish. So about a good season and a half there of the whole governor story arc, that kind of prison storyline. And then we would also go with, of course, kind of the second half of season 4 with being on the road, or kind of like season 5 with the whole on the road, going to Washington, Terminus, Beth type of deal, kind of on the road. Going to Alexandria type of deal, or you could also pick kind of the Wolves / No Way Out stuff from season 6, or you could also pick the Negan stuff, which is going on right now currently in The Walking Dead. So those are kind of the different story arcs right now that have kind of been going on so far in The Walking Dead. I kind of like to separate it up a little bit though, how season 1's kind of its own thing. The season 2 is kind of one story arc by itself. The first 2 seasons are kind of, every season is kind of a different story arc when it comes to season 2 and season 1. They're kind of separate storylines, but then season 3 kind of gets pushed over to about a good season and a half type of deal, because the governor stuff keeps kind of going on in season 4 first half. Or you could go with the stuff with Terminus and Washington, and kind of on your way to Washington type of storyline with Beth and all that kind of stuff. Or you could pick some of the stuff with No Way Out and the Wolves. Or you could pick some of the other stuff like where we're at right now with the Saviors and all kind of the different communities that we're seeing, and kind of bottling up episodes and kind of seeing how our survivors are going to eventually go to war against the Saviors. So anyway, those are the different story arcs. So for me, what story arc, if I could pick one story arc from The Walking Dead that is my favorite story arc, what would it be? Very, very interesting. Of course, the season 1 stuff, that is just amazing. I love season 1. Season 1 is probably one of the best first seasons of a TV show I've ever seen. It's just amazing. So of course we have Rick getting shot, and we have all the different kind of beginning of the zombie apocalypse type of deal when Rick wakes up. We have tons of different things going on. We see the CDC, we see Glenn and Rick kind of meet for the first time, Morgan thrown in there kind of as just some kind of other character in the group that we kind of meet up with in season 3. So that's the season 1 stuff. But I will say, unfortunately, right off the bat, I don't think that the season 1 stuff is my favorite part. It's a great part, it's a great storyline, but it's just kind of the beginning. And when I first saw season 1, I was like, oh man, this is a great show, I am addicted. But I wasn't completely addicted when I saw season 1. It was a great season, but once we got into about season 2 or so, I was really addicted, and that's kind of why I keep watching it now, is because of season 2, and I guess maybe even 3 too. I love season 3. Those 2 seasons right there kind of got me really into The Walking Dead, and then kind of season 4, 5, 6, and 7 are kind of following that. So Yeah, I don't think season 1 is the best part, kind of storyline of The Walking Dead. We're not comparing seasons here, by the way. We're just kind of comparing story arcs, kind of individual story arcs that we had. We've had a good few now, so we're kind of going over them, talking about my favorite. Also, another one, of course, the next kind of part of The Walking Dead is when we start seeing the farm. We start seeing, them looking for Sophia. We start seeing a lot of cool things with the, Herschel. We see Maggie and Glenn. Their first kind of moment together is really cool. And then, we of course see Sophia come out of the barn. We see Shane go on a rampage that season. And of course, at the end, Rick, of course, does kill Shane, which I thought was just insane. I mean, really crazy, and I always kind of wonder what would happen if Shane actually did kill Rick. I always wondered that. I think that'll always be something that people will try to imagine. It was just insane. I mean, Rick kills Shane, and then, oh man, it's crazy to see that from Rick, because he just kills him, brutally. I mean, but the only thing is, I think the reason why he did it, I don't think he wanted to do it, but I mean, Shane did kind of steal his wife, and kind of tried to refer Carl as his son, which really isn't true at all. And all that Shane stuff in season 2 was just amazing. Jon Bernthal did an amazing job. So if you want to compare those two seasons, I think season 2, the stuff that they had in that season was just insane. So now we move on to season 3. This, in my opinion, is when The Walking Dead gets really, really good. I mean, I am just such a big fan of this season. I mean, we have the governor, we have Merle, who returns. We have the back and forth fighting between Woodbury and Rick's group. There's 10 of them probably around this time at the prison. And they're still managing to survive. At least most of them are. Some of the prisoners are killed off. But seeing the prison from the comic books and just seeing that come alive in the TV show, seeing Rick, and also he would have lost his hand about season 3, 4 type of deal, and they never did it. So I thought that was always something that I don't really ever, I almost feel like that's a kind of something that they could still do, but I almost think that they won't. It's just kind of one of those things. But if they did it at the same time as the comic books, they would have done that in probably about mid-season 3 or so. So that is a really, really crazy season. We have the death of Merle. We have so many deaths this season. And this is the best action season ever. I mean, we just have so much action. Merle dying, Andrea, Lori, T-Dog. I mean, it's just... Man, most of the people from the prison, the prisoners, are killed off, and it's just, we lose tons of people this season, but we have so many great episodes, Killer Within, and we had, Made to Suffer, which I thought was a great one. We had Home, that was another good one. Clear, amazing. We got to see Morgan again. I love, episode 13, Air on the Doorstep. It was pretty slow, but seeing Rick and the governor talk was just insane. And we saw, of course, This Sorrowful Life, and I'm just oh man, what a crazy season. So season 3, man, I think is just, I don't think this season will ever be forgotten. Unlike probably stuff maybe after a long time, I think some people actually are forgetting how good some of that Shane stuff was in season 2, because the governor stuff was just insane. So, oh man, I love season 3. Now, moving on to, the stuff, with the whole, kind of terminus, whatever you want to call it, kind of deal with kind of the beginning of season 5 and that type of deal, kind of the next story arc after the governor story arc, which is kind of our group at first separated, but then when they all meet up at Terminus and they fight their way out, oh, what a great story arc with the termites. It is just insane. That is some of the craziest, season 4 finale and the first 3 episodes of season 5. So those 4 episodes are just amazing, especially the first 3 of season 5. When you see our group on that trough, right, just getting ready to get bleeded out, I just, oh my god, I was just, I really, for some reason, did think that they might have killed off Glenn there because of that guy with the bat. It really felt like they were going to do it there for me. That was probably one of the biggest close calls for Glenn. That was just, oh, man. And, seeing, of course, what happened later on with Negan. Oh, that scene really just... That scene really comes to life even more now. But seeing all these termites and seeing the way Rick's group takes them out in that church was just awesome. Carol gets super tough in season 5. The other kind of 4 or 3 seasons, she was kind of a background character, but man, in season 5, she just became one of my favorites. Oh man, especially when she had to take down Lizzie and Mika. Oh my god, what a crazy season. Season 4, episode 14, that was a great episode, The Grove. But then we end up seeing, of course, the Beth storyline, which this one I'm just going to say, I do not like the storyline. I'm going to pass it right now. I don't care about Beth that much. Anyway, hopefully I'm not offending anybody, but I didn't really care too much about Beth personally. Now, that's just me. A lot of people, some people did, some people didn't. She's just one of those characters I never really cared about. So, kind of like Lori. Yeah, the exact same kind of deal. I think Beth was better than Lori was, though. But then we have the beginning of the Alexandria stuff. We see the wolves. We see No Way Out. Oh, man. No Way Out was the best episode of a TV series I've ever seen. If you guys watch my top 10 best episodes video, you'll know that is the top episode on that list. I think I've done a video on that. It's the top one. It is just absolutely insane. I can't stop watching that episode. Every time I see it on Netflix, I click on that one right away. If I'm going through Walking Dead and I want to watch an episode of The Walking Dead, I really want to watch one that's like really good that I'll really enjoy. I always watch No Way Out. Either that or something like No Sanctuary, or just something really good. So, oh man, I love that episode. And it's been my favorite now for over a year. So we'll have to see if any of the episodes from All Out War beat that one out. I think it probably will, to be honest. But, oh my god, I love that episode. Oh, man. What an awesome episode. So we have that kind of Alexandria storyline there with kind of it getting started right there. Now we're kind of moving into the new stuff. We got Negan, we got the Saviors, we got the Hilltop, we got the Kingdom, we got the Junkyard, we got the Oceanside. The world is just getting bigger at this point, and we see the death of Abe and Glenn, and then where things go from there are just insane. We get Lucille, we get Daryl, in the cell, but then breaks out, later on, of course, and then, now our group is kind of starting to plan to attack, and recently they will be, and of course now we're seeing that Sasha and Rosita are kind of being a little impatient. So that's kind of all the storylines we've been through so far on The Walking Dead. There has been a good few. We've seen, the prison stuff, the farm stuff. We've seen, the Terminus stuff. We've seen the kind of Beth stuff, the Alexandria stuff. The whole No Way Out wolf storyline type deal. And, now we kind of start to see the Saviors. We're starting to see the kind of all these different communities. And I'm just starting to think, man, what is the best storyline? And you know what? I'm going to go for it right now. I am not going to say, and unfortunately I will say this, I don't think Season 7, all that stuff from that, I don't think is my favorite. It's just me. Everybody's allowed to have their own opinion. It's new, it's fresh, so I know a lot of people usually go for the newer stuff. I'm actually going to go ahead and say I think The Walking Dead Season 3, maybe not Season 3 is my favorite, but if we're going storylines, I'm going to go for the Season 3 Rick v. Governor stuff. Absolutely. It's the best fighting back and forth stuff we've seen. Because we haven't really seen our group fighting back and forth with the Saviors. We haven't really seen that. And, until we do, I think Season 3 versus the Governor with, our group and everything like that, Merle and all them, I think that is the best stuff ever. Now, of course, All Out War's coming. It's going to be its own storyline. So, but the whole Season 7 under Negan stuff, I don't like that too much. I don't like seeing our group week. So I'm going to go ahead and say I think All Out War will beat Season 3 with the Governor and all that. But I could be wrong even, because Season 3 is hard to beat. But I could be wrong, and I probably will be, to be honest with you. All Out War is going to be amazing. Write your comments below. I'm going to go for the Rick v. Governor stuff. That's my favorite stuff so far. Write in the comments below. A lot of people like Season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, it's your decision, but yeah, that's me personally. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys really soon. I got to get to packing. I'm moving tomorrow, so I'll see you guys really soon. Peace.